Hello everybody, Mac here, and today I'm going to be talking about the patch notes for the Battlefield Hardline Beta PC patch. And this patch came out yesterday, and it actually fixed a few things in the game. Did some weapons tuning. Now this was only on PC where you could test it, but this will most likely be coming before the game actually comes out on the consoles. So, you know, they'll probably add it to the consoles. They didn't put it in the beta probably because they didn't have permission from Microsoft or Sony. And since the beta is already gone, I still want to talk about this. If you thought some weapons needed to be nerfed or buffed, then this will be in the full release of the game. So first off, the 870p Magnum effective range has been reduced, which that was the start-in shotgun. And that's pretty cool. The 870p, I mean, if you're already damaged, you could get one hit killed from quite a bit of a distance. I wouldn't say it was overpowered. It did have a pretty long range. And then next, the M16 and the M416 damaged, lowered, and increased recoil, which this is amazing. I think the M16 and the M416 both are pretty powerful weapons, and I think the M16, that gun it's a laser beam. I didn't put too much time with it just because I really like the M416 way better. Because the M416 in Battlefield 4, it was an amazing gun, but in Battlefield Hardline, it has 850 rounds per minute. It has amazing accuracy. It just melts people. It is an amazing weapon before patch, but it does have increased recoil and the damage probably lowered to 24. That would be my guess. Where they lowered the damage. Yeah, I know the M416 had 28 damage, but now it should have 24 damage. That would be my guess on where they put the damage now. Next, the RO933 has reduced recoil and reduced damage. So the RO933, I could see why they did this because it was a start-in weapon. It was basically the M4. It didn't have too much recoil in my opinion, and the damage wasn't that overpowered either. I didn't use it too much because it was the starting weapon and it wasn't the best for the operator. I don't know if this weapon should have reduced recoil though, because it is actually the fastest firing weapon for the carbine, so I don't know if it should have reduced recoil, because it has 800 rounds per minute. Maybe what they could do is have the SG553, which doesn't have much recoil at all. They could maybe put that weapon in I guess, the starting weapon for the operator class instead of the RO933. Although the M4 is kind of like a starting weapon in most games. But overall, I think the RO933 reduced recoil, that's pretty good. Hopefully you don't miss that many shots if you are a new player with that weapon. Now the Uzi has increased hipfire accuracy, which is pretty good. I mean, the Uzi, it's a little weapon. You would assume that it would have pretty good hipfire. The P90 has increased spread, which that is amazing to hear. The P90 was pretty much a laser beam, especially for hipfire. They also swapped the M45 and the G36C from criminal weapons to the cop weapons, and they swapped the UMP and the M416 to criminals. Now this is actually pretty good to hear. The M45, I don't know why a cop would be using an M45, because whenever you think of like SWAT versus criminals, you would think the cops would have more high-tech weapons, which makes sense for the G36C, but the M45 wasn't that expensive a weapon and didn't look that high-tech. I just don't know why the M45, but they also swapped the UMP and the M416 to criminals, which the M416, I think that was amazing. I feel like the operator for the cops were way better than the operator for the criminals, just because of that M416 and the M16. Hopefully we can have those battles, because the criminals seem to have slower firing weapons, so hopefully this gives them a good alternative to a fast firing assault rifle. And the UMP 45, that's a pretty good weapon in my opinion, so hopefully. But the thing is about switching weapons to opposite sides, a few months after the game's going to be released, or even a few weeks for most weapons, it's not going to matter because most people are going to have over 300 kills with that certain weapon, so they could use it on both sides. So, we have to see what they'll do with those. I mean, I think overall these two changes, switching weapons to opposite sides is still pretty good. They also reduced the effective range for the .338 Magnum rounds, which I did not actually use the 338 Magnum rounds, but from what I've heard, they were actually very overpowered because you could just take out vehicles very fast. But I haven't used the 338 Magnum rounds just because I don't snipe all that often. They also reduced the Spaz 12 damage. I didn't think the Spaz 12 was the most overpowered shotgun, but it was, it was pretty powerful, and I think the Spaz 12, that's a pretty good weapon. So they also fixed a bug with the Magnum round recoil where people were losing kills. I don't know what this is because, like I said, I haven't used the Magnum rounds, but I think what this was people, like, the recoil was so high that you would just miss shots, because I haven't used the Magnum rounds on snipers. They also tuned a few gadgets. They reduced the cooldown time of the med and ammo packs, which is pretty good. I didn't think that they were that, that slow, because you could just take somebody's, you know how, like, you could just press the interact key and you could get ammo from that character. So I guess that wasn't, that big of a problem, but hopefully we don't get too many med and ammo pack spam, or every time you get damaged you could just throw down a medic pack. They also increased the resupply time of breach-in charges. That's pretty good to hear. I really like that, because breach-in charges, I do think that they should have a really long resupply time, so that if you want to resupply your breach-in charges, you're gonna have to wait there quite a bit of time and you can't do anything. So that's pretty good. They also did some optimization support and did stuff like that, but that's only on PC. We haven't heard about what this will entail for the consoles, but hopefully it's nearly the same, and maybe fix some other things. But if you want to check this out, the link in the description. This is all pretty good information, and how, this is still the beta, and the beta was still going on whenever they updated this on PC, and it's still pretty nice to see how they are actually updating the game. So hope you enjoy. Feedback as always appreciated, and I will see you guys in the next video.